Have you ever thought about cooking a whole leg of lamb? In this video, I'm going to show you how to make super tasty whole cooked leg of lamb. Let's go! So the first thing you really want to do is make a brine. I thought I had filmed me making this brine, but I didn't, so I'll kind of talk you guys through it. So honestly, you just pour some water and then you add in your spices. Generous amount of salt, pepper, I used thyme and rosemary, and then I just added in a little bit of vinegar after the brine had cooled down, and that is just to add some acidity. So now I'm just putting in my whole leg of lamb. The thing to remember with this is you want to use generous amount of salt because you want the salt to actually really go into the meat, because it's such a big cut of meat, you're not going to get a chance to actually season it until it gets through to the bone. So this is kind of your chance to do that. I put it in the fridge, and this is about 48 hours later. You can definitely do 24. I think 48 is kind of like a good time. I brought it out of the fridge, and now I'm just going to take it out of the water and then pat dry all of the meat, just so that it's really dry and not wet anymore. Okay, so now I have my oven rack and I'm actually I'm already preheating my oven to about 400F. Now I'm just going to place the meat on this oven rack. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just going to let it go into the oven until the exterior is crispy. While that is going in the oven, I'm going to start my sauce, which is what I'm actually going to use to finish the lamb. So as you can see, I've just put some oil in the pan, and then I'm going to add in some chopped peppers. So I'm using two kinds of bell peppers. I'm using garlic, ginger, and onions. And the goal is just to sweat this and then let it cook until it kind of like it's all caramelized and gooey looking. So I'm just adding this in my blender. I'm also going to add in some fresh herbs. I'll be using spring onions, which I have at home, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of chicken bouillon. It's definitely optional, and some salt and cumin as well. That's what I have in here. Then I'm going to give it a good blend until I have a paste. So I added some water just to loosen up the sauce. If I was cooking something that isn't super fatty, I would have added oil, but it's lamb, it's super fatty, so I just added water, and that's what my paste looks like. Now let's get into the rest of the cooking process. So after an hour in the oven, this is what my lamb looks like. It looks really good, but it's not ready. Now I'm just going to combine the lamb with the sauce. So I'm using this Dutch oven. You want to use something that you can definitely return into the oven. So I'm putting some sauce at the base. Then I'm going to put the lamb in, and then I'm going to top it off with the rest of the sauce. I added some bay leaves for good luck as one must. It's going to go into the oven. So at 400 for about 3 hours. You can definitely cook it for longer, but I'm doing 3 hours. And after 3 hours, this is what we have. And that is that, guys. Simple, absolutely delicious leg of lamb. You can also make this recipe with lamb shank. Of course, it cooks a lot faster because it's smaller cut of meat, but the process is the same. We served it with rice. You can also serve it with any kind of like wrap or naan bread. Enjoy!